boat!
Without so much as a warning, life hangs in the balance. Human endeavor turns to chaos. And within seconds, nothing will ever be the same. Ever. I'm Ron Pitts, and over the next 30 minutes, you are going to witness some of the most extraordinary video clips in the world. See two Soviet MiG jet fighters collide in midair, and watch as a huge terrorist bomb wreaks destruction in Manchester, England. Here it is, the most intense half hour on television. This is Destroyed in Seconds. July 24th, 1993. It's the 75th anniversary of the British Royal Air Force, and over 150,000 people partake in the festivities. Planes from all over the world join the air show celebration. But the most anticipated performers are the rarely seen Soviet MiG-29s. For years, these top-secret fighters were the centerpiece of the Soviet Air Force. Now they're on display for the world to see. And to make sure the show is truly spectacular, the Soviets put their two best test pilots behind the controls. But that's no guarantee that their performance will be flawless. The two pilots engage in a series of high-speed crossover maneuvers. But on the last one, they lose sight of each other. And a split second later, at over 300 miles per hour, disaster. The wing from one plane slices off the cockpit, inches away from the pilot inside. An instant after the two planes collide, both pilots can be seen ejecting. Moments after their feet touch the ground, the unharmed but shocked pilots take their near-death accident in stride. From this angle, it's clear that the pilot flying horizontally had no chance of seeing the other jet before it sliced his plane in two. Thanks to procedures implemented prior to the accident, no one on the ground was injured. And because of the rigorous training and lightning-fast reflexes of the Soviet military pilots, they were able to eject in the nick of time. These supercharged top-fuel hydros can cover a quarter mile in under 5 seconds. Today, they're competing in the Firebird Winter Nationals in Chandler, Arizona.
Nerve gas. Here comes the first round of top fuel.
In the far lane is the clear favorite, and he's rocketed into a decisive lead. But out of nowhere comes veteran racer Sonny Moon. Initially trailing by a wide margin, he pushes it to the limit, crossing the finish line at more than 160 miles per hour. His throttle is stuck at full, and he's no longer the driver. He's a passenger. And this hydro is on a collision course with the lakeshore. When the boat hits the beach, it's launched 3 stories into the air and goes ripping straight through the power lines, causing a total loss of power to the surrounding areas. The camera is forced to stop, and the footage ends. Hidden within the boat's massive rooster tail, Sonny bails out a split second before his craft flies out of the water. Had he not been able to escape, this disaster would surely have been fatal. Early morning, June 15th, 1996. A 7.5-ton cargo van is parked in the Arndale shopping district of Manchester, England. At 10 a.m., a local television station receives a warning telephone call, which contains a recognized IRA code word. The British Army's bomb disposal experts use a remote-controlled robotic device to examine the suspect truck, while the police rush to evacuate nearly 80,000 Saturday shoppers from the city center.
Leave this area, go down to Oxford Road, turn.
Suddenly, a bomb containing 3,300 pounds of explosives is detonated. A giant pillar of smoke dwarfs an adjacent 25-story high-rise. The blast is audible over 8 miles away. This is the largest IRA bomb ever detonated in Great Britain, and the single largest bomb to go off here since World War II. In the explosion's aftermath, firefighters battled 20 additional fires. The devastation is absolute. Windows are blown out up to a half-mile away. Damage from the blast is widespread and cost the city an estimated £411 million. Although no one is killed, 206 people are injured, mostly by flying glass. Area hospitals are flooded with the walking wounded. All told, more than 150,000 square feet of retail space and nearly 90,000 square feet of office space are in need of complete reconstruction. If there's a silver lining to this tragedy, it's this. After the explosion, the center of Manchester undergoes a dramatic rejuvenation, resulting in a city-wide renaissance that generates millions of pounds in revenue. An IRA megabomb reduces a downtown to rubble, and a new thriving city center rises from the ashes. Florence, Oregon, 1970. A dead sperm whale is beached along the shoreline, and local reporter Paul Lindman is on the scene.
The Oregon State Highway Division not only had a whale of a problem on its hands, it had a stinking whale of a problem. What to do with one 45-foot, 8-ton whale dead on arrival on the beach near Florence.
As the corpse begins to decay, city officials and the highway department are forced to figure out a way to dispose of it. After thoughtful consideration, they reach a consensus. The logic? Create an explosion so big that the whale will be blasted to bits. The remaining pieces will then be carried off by seagulls and crabs. Highway Department worker George Thornton thinks it's a brilliant idea.
The only thing is we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this thing, so the scavengers, seagulls and crabs and whatnot can clean it up.
Workers rig the explosives on one side of the whale in hopes to blast it toward the water. Police create a safe zone around the area, and curious onlookers are moved a quarter mile away.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Bits of whale rain across the beach. Then the pieces reach the crowd. Onlookers realize the tiny pieces are not so tiny. Over a quarter mile away, a massive chunk of blubber has flattened the roof of a brand new Cadillac. Thankfully, no one was inside at the time. Back on the beach, it's evident
Ignition.
that the half-ton of dynamite had little effect. The majority of the whale is still intact, and the highway department is forced to go with Plan B. Bury the carcass in the sand. St. Paul, Minnesota. It's rush hour on Interstate 94. A disabled van on the shoulder of the highway's eastbound lane sits smoldering as authorities direct traffic around it. State Department of Transportation cameras record the scene from 2 angles. What these cameras are about to show catches everyone by surprise. The blast is so strong, it shakes the traffic cam. Just as a truck is passing the scene, the blast envelops it. There's a name for explosions like this: BLEVE. It's an acronym for Boiling Liquid Expanding Vapor Explosion. In an automobile, a BLEVE can occur when a gas tank ruptures. Even a tiny hole can cause a loss of pressure, eventually causing a fiery explosion. Thanks to the traffic control, no one on the ground was hurt, including the truck driver, who made it through the flames unscathed. Carrizo Gorge, California, 70 miles east of San Diego. Miles, Todd, and two friends ride this narrow pass. There's no margin for error here at Carrizo.
Right, guys.
One false move, and it's a long way down. As the trail constricts due to fallen rocks and debris, the lead biker has to brake abruptly.
Dude.
Passage seems impossible.
You ain't gonna try it? Look at the penalty for failure, dude.
And impossibly dangerous.
Okay. Well, the penalty for failure has always been there.
Wisely, the cameraman walks ahead, but his friends decide to go for it.
That's a hell of a job, Miles. That's a hell of a job.
But today,
Be careful, that's a hell of a... Oh.
tumbling helplessly downward, Miles Todd cries out in pain. His friends believe that they surely must be watching Miles fall to his death. Loose gravel causes Miles to lose his balance. And here, there's no trail to break his fall, only cliff. He drops about 10 feet and rolls another 140 before coming to a stop.
You all right? No, really. Hey, just sit down. 1 minute, Miles, until you know everything's connected.
Thanks to his helmet, his water pack, which cushions the blows, and the fact that he falls horizontally rather than head over heels, Miles survives. He walks away with compound fractures to his right hand, a sprained wrist, and multiple lacerations to his legs and face. His bike is fine, but it takes 6 weeks for Miles to heal, and a lot of guts before he'll start tackling trails like this again.
That's a hell of a... Be careful, that's a hell of a... Oh my God. Oh, hell. Oh.
There is nothing more chilling than the sight of an airliner exploding. But NASA and the FAA believe in order to prevent an accidental disaster, you have to create an intentional one. In the name of science, the two agencies teamed up to demolish a Boeing 720. The goal is to gather crucial information that will lead to safer air travel. To make sure that the test is comprehensive as possible, they set up a runway to ensure total devastation. Railroad trap rocks cover the landing pad, so the sparks will fly when the plane's belly skids across the tarmac. Next, jagged barriers are cemented into the runway in an effort to shear off the wings, cut fuel lines, and tear through engines. Lastly, the fuel tanks are filled to capacity. Pilots, via remote control, take the unmanned plane up to 2,300 feet and then bring it in for a crash landing. It's obvious there's no intention of lowering the landing gear. A second angle shows the wing cutter ripping through one of the engines and igniting the jet fuel. The flames are so intense, the camera mounted on the tail section fries. But inside the fuselage, the crash test dummies are just rattled around. Amazingly, the flames and smoke are unable to penetrate the fuselage. Outside, the plane is a raging ball of fire. A fire that's allowed to burn for well over an hour. When the smoke finally clears, scientists gather vital information that will be used for generations. It's because of studies like these that air travel today is one of the safest forms of transportation. In 1945, the United States Army conducts the world's first atomic weapons test. Between 1951 and 1992, 928 tests are conducted at the military's Nevada test site. The main purpose of the testing is to develop nuclear weaponry for use against the Soviets.
The life and security of all freedom-loving people will be in danger.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In Las Vegas, tourists book high-rise hotel rooms in hopes of getting the best possible view of the mushroom clouds. Civilians and soldiers alike are assured that if they take a few simple precautions, there will be little or no health risk.
Don't worry about yourselves. As far as the test is concerned, you'll be okay. Watched from a safe distance, this explosion is one of the most beautiful sights ever seen by man.
One sees a very, very bright light. And then you look up and you see the fireball as it ascends up into the heaven. It's a wonderful sight to behold.
It may look wonderful, but there is a catch.
If you receive enough gamma radiation to cause sterility or severe sickness, you'll be killed by blast, flying debris, or heat anyway.
I got a mouthful on the face of the dirt.
Fallout from these tests may be the cause of nearly 75,000 cases of thyroid cancer in Arizona, Utah, and Nevada.
Well, that's the story.
The United States conducted its last above-ground test in 1962. 30 years later, in 1992, the United States conducted its final nuclear test. Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's the International Balloon Fiesta, and more than 700 balloons from all over the world are participating. These hot air balloons come in all shapes and all sizes.
There's smoky out there.
This iconic balloon is carrying a pilot and 2 children. As they gain altitude, a sudden gust of wind sends them in the wrong direction.
Oh, he hit the tower.
The balloon hangs precariously on a 50,000-watt radio tower. The pilot and the 2 children are trapped in the basket.
Oh, he tore a hole in him.
Moments later, a rescue helicopter arrives on the scene. But the rescue is ruled out for fear that the rotor blades could strike the tower.
Oh, I hope that thing don't rip and let the basket fall. It's a long ways to the ground.
As the balloon starts to rip apart, they have no choice but to save themselves. Exposed and with no safety gear, the pilot and the children climb out of the basket and start descending the narrow ladder.
No, they're climbing down the tower.
They are.
Yeah.
As they carefully climb down, their lives remain in jeopardy. A loss of balance, a hand slip, or even a slight misstep could send them plummeting 650 feet to the ground. It takes the trio almost an hour to reach the bottom of the tower. Thanks to the quick-thinking balloon pilot, neither of the children were injured in this high-altitude disaster.
Oh, he hit the tower.
I'm Ron Pitts, and we'll see you next time on Destroyed in Seconds.
he hit the tower.